Okay, so this is going to be quick look number, I don't know, 4 or 5, something like that. So we've got our tree, right? Let's see, we'll go to the high poly one. This is the high poly tree. And we're going to be looking at Zremesher, just the basics of it, and kind of how you can use this brush here. Where are we at? The Zremesher guides. So Zremesher automatically does a pretty good job of doing a remesh of your asset. We'll just go here. So it's in the geometry tab on the right, and then you go down, and there's a drop down here under DynaMesh called Zremesher. Just click that. I'm going to scroll up here so we can look at it. So you've got just clicking Zremesher will do the action of recreating your mesh adaptively by default. And adaptively is essentially just it tries to maintain as much of the shape as possible and add geometry where it thinks it needs to be in order to maintain the shape. And then target poly count is just like if you hold shift, where is it? Or if you hold control, it'll kind of tell you. So 5 would result in a target topology of 5,000 polys. And then adaptive will kind of push it around to try and meet the 5,000 count while meeting your overall shape. So by default, we'll just do this and see what happens. Doesn't usually take too long, so we'll see. It's about time for me to get a haircut. Hair's getting weird. All right, so this, let's see where this is sitting at. So this is sitting at 10,000 points or verts. You can look at it, does a scary good job. Oh, and this is, ignore this. This is because of the way I have the geometry split here. But yeah, for organic shapes like this is like perfect. So if we undo this, you can start doing things like with the Zremesher guides, if you need it to be paying attention to shapes a bit more, you can think of your brush as like the top of the brush and the bottom of the brush. That length is like an edge. So when you draw, it's the inside of the brush as well. It's not the so you can see if I make the brush bigger. See its steps, and then it'll attempt to smart snap accordingly. So what you're doing is giving it some guides as to how you want things to unwrap, and you can be pretty rough with it. Just do stuff like this. And if you hold Alt and then draw a line through an edge, it'll remove it. So the idea is you just kind of give it some guides. Maybe you want it to split this way. So when you make the brush smaller as well, you're kind of giving it an idea of like the resolution that it needs to be thinking about. That's right, ZBrush thinking. Creepy. So just do this. Maybe do a few of these. So it knows to add some loops roughly in this direction. But gets especially useful when you start doing stuff like that. If you need it to connect your loops in a specific way. And the guides, I believe, add a bit more work for it to establish what you're trying to tell it to do. So you just kind of keep doing this. And then let's run the remesher again. What's up, Melt? How you doing? Don't try and call my name. It's fine. You wish you weren't allergic to the ZBrush camera controls in the GUI? Yeah, it's pretty rough. Anyways, well, you can't really tell because it's kind of hard to make sense of it. I wonder if I can, like, can I undo? And so you can see the guide here is almost exactly where that edge is. So essentially where you're drawing your topology, it's going to try and fix it and conform accordingly. What's up, James Bond? So what game am I working on currently at this moment? I work on The Division. What I'm doing right now is just showing you guys how Zremesher works. But it's pretty straightforward. I mean, if I lower the target down to like 2, it's going to try and do 2,000 polys. Let's see how that goes. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. At home, I'm just working with you guys. My project is your guys' projects. And then I work on this, there's a temple scene that I'm working on, just to give me topics to talk about. It's a huge scene, so I don't expect to end anytime soon. So let's see where this is. You'll start to notice it breaks down in areas too, like right here. You can see like that's getting all crazy. So you just undo that, and then it's best to try and give it some guides. If you're concerned about it not being able to correct what the shape is, adding a full loop will help give it some sense. Let's see if this helped. I hope that answered your question, Mesa. I'm calling you Mesa. How you doing, Raz? After we see this, we'll move on, and I'll start. Nope, look at that. Super jacked. It might just require some more geometry as well. Having a target of 2 might be far too low. And then after I do this, I usually just bring it right back into Modo. And then remove any extra loops and kind of optimize a bit where I need to. Hey Andrew, how you doing? Good to see you. Oh, that's a little better. Yeah, and I mean wherever it's high poly, you can just go in here. Like if you want, you can use is it ZModeler? And if you mouse over edges, you can Alt click it and it'll delete. If you're not comfortable with ZModeler, it's fine. It's a little weird. It takes some getting used to for sure. So when you hit spacebar, you get all your controls based on what you have highlighted. Anywho, this is that's how you ZRemesh, like at least the basics of it.